welcome to our channel. Once again, I welcome you all. Today we are going to see in our lecture a module number 4, that is project management for the subject operational research. Now once again we are going to see the theoretical part, and then after we are going to solve the numerical. Myself, Jambaksh Manikwariyava, assistant professor pursuing PhD in Government Engineering College of Tamban. So let's move on. In our today's content, we will see the introduction of project management, historical development of it, methodology in CPM PERT technique, basic terminology used in network analysis, and numerical. We will see what is CPM and PERT in the upcoming time. Now, for introduction, a project such as setting up of new milk plant, research and development in organization, development of new milk product, marketing of product is a combination of interrelated activities, or you can say task, which must be executed in certain order before entire task can be completed. Means, if you want to produce a milk product, or you want to just have a milk plant, then for that purpose all you need to do is you need to organize all your interrelated activities like marketing of product, organization of product, development of products. These all tasks are interrelated to each other. Like for an example, in another assembly of car or any manufacturing company where this kind of interrelated activities are done. For an example, steel plant. In steel plant, the heated of material of the raw material is done, then the forging has been done. So in this way there are many things that are done in this certain part way, so which all the activities are interrelated. Now the activities are interrelated in always logical sequence, in such way that some activities can not start until some others are completed. For an example, if the milk is properly pressurized, then and then only packaging task will be taken into action. Otherwise, it is not possible. An activity in a project usually views as job requiring resources for its completion. Means whatever the activity is doing, it is usually the completion for the job. The object of project management can be described in terms of successful project which has been finished on time, within the budget cost, and to technical specifications and to satisfaction levels of end users. Normally for any project, one may be interested in answering questions such as, whenever we are completing such kind of a project, we want to answer a certain questions, which includes what will be the expected time of project completion. Whenever we are onto something, the first question is what will be the time for completion of a project. Second one will be what is the effect of delay of any activity on the overall completion of project. If we are like delaying our activity, then what will be the effect on our overlapping system? That is the question mark. So that includes, if we want to have, we are going to have overtime, disputes, negotiations, then legislation, then so on and on. Then how to reduce time to perform certain activity in case of availability of additional funds, that is also in question. So how we have to reduce certain time so that activities can in case availability of additional funds. Now what is the probability of completion of project in time? That is also question, that which probability the projection will be completed. So whenever the project management has been taken into action. These are some basic questions that will be always arise. Now for introduction, operational research techniques used for planning, scheduling and controlling large and complex projects are often referred to as network analysis. So whenever some planning and scheduling is been going on, there should be a referment like a network analysis. So we will call that thing as a network analysis. The network is a graphical representation consisting of certain configuration of arrows and nodes for showing the logical sequence of various tasks to be performed to achieve the project objectives. Around 5 decades ago, the planning tool was Gantt par, which was for activity on horizontal timescale. The disadvantage, there is no interdependency among many activities. Like when we use completing the Gantt chart, there was so uncertain about which activity is being interrelated to each other. Okay, so nowadays we use a technique for planning, scheduling and controlling stages of the project is known as critical path method CPM and project evaluation and review technique PERT. The techniques of PERT and CPM prove extremely valuable in assisting the managers in handling such projects and thus discharging their project responsibility both at planning, controlling stages commonly used for magnetic techniques. Okay, so there are two techniques: project evaluation and review technique, that is PERT, and critical path method CPM. We will understand in the upcoming slides that what is the basic difference among them. But basically the thing is, CPM is an time relevant while PERT is an event relevant method. So we will see further. For the historical thing, the CPM or PERT or network analysis is this sometimes called a parallel stream, one industrial and another military. Okay, they were developed at a time of industrial time and military time. CPM was developed in 1957 by J.E. Kelly of Remington Rand and M.R. Walker of W.E. DuPont de Nemours and Co. PERT was devised in 1958 for Polaris missile program by Program Evaluation Branch of the Special Projects Office of the US Navy, helped by Lockheed Missile System Division and consultant firm of Booz Allen and Hamilton. Both are basically time-oriented method lead to determination of time schedule for project. The major difference between these two techniques is that PERT is a probabilistic approach for determination of time estimation of different activities not exactly known to us. In case of CPM, different estimates are known as they are deterministic in nature, but nowadays both these techniques are used for one purpose. Initially, PERT technique was applied to research and development project while CPM was used toward construction project. Okay, so this is a very basic difference. Some key differences in CPM and PERT is CPM focuses on cost optimization while first focus is on time control. CPM used in projects which predictable activities such as construction. So in which construction, that means there is a predictable activities are there, that is CPM used. While there is unpredicted such as R&D department, there is a use of PERT. CPM use deterministic treatment of time single outcome while PERT use probabilistic treatment of time uses 3 estimates of duration. There will be use of 3 estimates in time. We will see in the part when PERT will come into action. CPM can show activity that can be sacrificed if needed to execute project because it distinguishes between critical and non-critical activities. See, that means we can eliminate some of the activities if we had to complete our project in time, and that how we will know what is the critical activity that we have to do and what are the non-critical activity. PERT does not provide this information because it does not distinguish between critical and non-critical activities. In this CPM, crashing or shortening of duration of sprint while incurring least extra expenses, while in PERT crashing does not apply. Okay, what are the methodology used in CPM and PERT are common between them? There are 4 stages. First one is planning. It is started by splitting the total project into small projects. The smaller projects are further divided into different activities and are analyzed by department or section. The relationship of each activity with respect to other activities are defined and established. That means whatever the big projects will be divided into small projects, and then it is divided into activities. Now scheduling. The objective of scheduling is to give the earliest and latest allowable start and finish time of each activity as well as relationship with other activities in the project. The schedule must pinpoint the critical part, time activities which require special attention if project is to be completed in the time. So scheduling is very important because it will provide you the certain dimension of when it is going to start and when it is going to finish in certain way. Okay, so it is very important for understanding. Then allocation of resources. Allocation of resources is performed to achieve the desired objective. Resource is a physical variable such as labor, finance, space, equipment, etc., which will impose a limitation for the completion of project. Okay, so that means, for an example, if I want to do a single task also, I want resources, I want human and power or money or time that will provide me an opportunity to complete the thing. The last one is controlling. The final phase in the project management is controlling. So after all these things has been done, planning has been done, scheduling has been done, allocation has been provided, the controlling is important. Okay, otherwise if the schedules planning has been not controlled, then there will be an issue. So after making the network plan and identification of critical path, the project is controlled by checking progress against the schedule, assigning and scheduling manpower and equipment, and analyzing the effects of delays. This is done by progress report from time to time, updating the network continuously. Arrow diagram and time chart are used for making periodic progress. Basic terminology is used in network analysis. So in network analysis and PERT, there are some basic terms used, which is, first one of them is activity. Okay, now we will see what are the activity and what are the types of activity. So it is any individual operation which utilizes resources, has an beginning and end, is called an activity. That means any sort of activity or operation. If some machines are transferred or some machine lathe are making some drill shapes of turning or something like that, if drilling machines of any operation that is taking from beginning to end is called an activity. And arrow is depict an activity which indicate the direction of progress of the project. That means it is an arrow. Okay, how we will find an particular activity, that is an arrow, we will see in the future, I mean in upcoming slide. Now there are types of activity. Predecessor activity, activity that must be completed prior to the start of another activity. So this is known as predecessor activity, in which activity has to complete. If this activity is not complete, the another one is not going to start. This is known as predecessor activity. Successor activity is activity which cannot be started until one or more of the other activities are completed, but immediately succeed them are called successor activity. That means if one is completed, the another one starts immediately. This activity is known as successor activity. Then there is a concurrent activity. Activity which can be accomplished concurrently is known as concurrent activity. That means it is happening in concurrent way, one activity with the another. An activity can be predecessor or successor to an event. It may be concurrent with one or more than the other. So it can be with one or others also, more than one also. There is a dummy activity, an activity which does not consume any kind of resource but merely depicts the technological dependence is called dummy activity. See, this kind of activity does not consume any kind of resources whatsoever. Okay, it is only to show the completion of the chart, to make for what is the use, to make activities with common starting and finishing points distinguishable, to identify and maintain the proper dependence relationship between activities, those are not connected by event. Okay, so for an example, this is two things. Okay, let's see this arrow. This arrow is activity. Always remember this. This arrow is activity, where this part shows us a tail and this shows an head. Okay, so tail and head. Now if there is another activity connected with events is what? These circles are known as events, nodes, and etc. So this is activity, this is event. So there is one event connected by two activity, two no events. Then I have to connect 2 and 3. Then I will put and dummy activity over here. So it will not consume any resources, but it will provide an completion of an diagram. Okay, it will be denoted by dotted lines. Okay, so these are some another examples of it. You can see if this two has been not connected, you can put in dummy over here. Same way, if A, B, and C was there, you can put in dummy over here. Okay. Now, let's see what is event. Okay. So as I say, this is an event. So the beginning and the ending point of activity calls are events, nodes, or connector. This is usually represented by circle. So over here, this is an activity. This arrow is showing an activity. Now starting is over start event and finish is finish event. Okay. Now this events are classified into three main things. That is merge event. When two or more activities come from an event, it is known as a merge event. You can look over here. When two activity A and activity B is merging in one event, this is known as a merge event. Now burst event. When more than one activity leaves an event is known as burst event. You can see two activities C and D is going out of the event, that is known as burst event. That is merge in burst event. An activity may be merged or burst at the same time. So over here A and B is merging while the C and D is burst out. Okay, now the difference between event and activity. An event is particular instant of time. That is what you have to remember. Okay, like for an example, let's put one example over here so you can understand it. For an example, I want to make a pencil sharp. Then I will take 30 seconds. So for an example, I started at 10 a.m. So that is my event, and I am completing on 10 and 30 seconds. So this 10-30 seconds will be the end event. Okay, while what I'm doing, I'm cutting that, removing this material from the pencil is nothing but an activity. Okay, so all you have to always remember that drawing networks supposed to be from left to right. Okay, whenever you draw this network diagram, you always have to go from left to right. Event head has larger number than the tail. For an example, these are two events I and J. Then you have to go on the increasing manner. Okay, so let's talk the final thing over here for today's lecture, that benefits of PERT and PM. Useful at many stages of project management, mathematically simple, give critical path and slack time, provide project documentation, useful in monitoring cost. Limitations are clearly defined and independent and stable activities, specify predation relationship over emphasis on critical paths. Applications are, there are so many applications like construction of dam or a canal system in region, construction of building or highway, maintenance or overhaul of airplanes, space flight, cost control of project using PERT, designing or prototype of machine, development of a supersonic place. Okay, so these are some applications, limitations, and benefits. So hope I had clear your doubt. If you had any doubt in the this lecture, please comment and ask me. Thank you so much for your valuable time. See you in the next lecture. We will do the numerical for the project management. Thank you.